So, Carrie, tell me a little bit about what you've been up to. It sounds like you have some amazing, great projects that you've been working on.
Thank you. Yes. Well, let's say I've been in Hollywood for the last 7 years. As you know, I'm an actress, stunt woman. I also produce. Um, so on that end, I've done Marvel's Black Panther, Avengers Endgame, Wakanda Forever, Nope, and a ton of other films in a variety of ways. And then I also have a philanthropy as well called CBC Foundation, where we give back to kids living on or below the poverty line. And we mainly service the Memphis, Tennessee area, as well as the Los Angeles area. And then the biggest project I've been working on the last 9 months is also making a baby while doing all of this.
Yay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice. So, how do you balance all of this? I mean, you're like Superwoman.
That's a great question. I think, you know what? I think everybody asks me how I balance it all. And I would say that my childhood probably kept me, my childhood molded me into being able to balance multiple things at once. I grew up with a teenage single parent mom that worked really hard. I saw how she was still able to work, a couple jobs, make ends meet, and show up, not all the time, but to some places, and also just, balance having a life and having two kids. And I think watching her grow up and then taking care of responsibilities that I had to do at a younger age just kind of grounded me for an opportunity that, as long as things connected in some way, I was able to keep piecing it together and keep moving forward. And I'm an optimism as well, or optimist, I should say. I always look at the glass half full versus half empty. And even when you run into a stumble block or something, you just use it to stack and to build. So even when things don't technically always go as plans and the balance doesn't work, I just have to take a step back, breathe. I've learned to ask for help these last year is probably my biggest thing with balance, and don't do it alone.
Nice. And now, what would you say was the biggest project you're working on currently that you can't wait for everybody to see?
That's a great question. I mean, I've worked on a couple of projects recently that I signed an NDA on that I can't really talk about, so I'm excited about those. I know I got to work on The Color of Purple, the remake, which I was a fan of Steven Spielberg and Oprah back in the day when they did their original. That one comes out in December, so I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about, I've been investing into some tech startups that have taken wind, and I'm really excited about the esports market and the continuation of it rising, and all of the new products and data and analytics that's coming on the market in order to just scale that market up. And then, the baby, I guess, because motherhood is a new journey for me while I'm balancing my career as well.
Nice, nice. I'm so excited for you, for your job, the baby. I'm just I'm so impressed with you. I'm so happy for you. I think you're such a great role model. And other than your mom, who are some of your role models growing up?
Thank you so much for that. Some of my other role models would be, one was Belinda Campbell. She actually serves as vice president of my startup. And she was a mentor of mine that when I was in high school, she saw potential in me that I didn't 100% see in myself. And it allowed me to go to a business camp and get exposed to the New York Stock Exchange, the floor of Wall Street, and all of these opportunities that I probably would not have. So she's someone that I still look up to and admire. I would also say Michelle Obama in the most recent years with, being the president's wife, but also holding her own and having her own momentum and her own self. Because I think so often we can be in the shadow of our partners, but also to have a partner that allows you to be yourself comfortably and to take leadership and pride, and to also to be that supportive aspect to someone such as, former President Barack Obama. And then I would say Oprah is definitely one, because her story was so great coming from Mississippi and, having such a crazy traumatic childhood. And she didn't let that just stop her. And even with all the discrimination and racism and hold-ups and stopbacks, she continued to flow and to go on and, been a billionaire and doing incredible things in many aspects. So I would say those are a few. And I mean, if I went all the way back, I would say Harriet Tubman too, because I mean, to have the will and the courage to, oppress against slavery and to decide that you're going to free all of these people in the Underground Railroad, and for her upbringing of how she was raised and of all the people that told her not to do it, and for her to go against the nose and to continue to press past that. And she was just like a vessel being used, but also she decided to be used. She didn't sit back on her gift or her purpose.
Nice. And what would be your dream project to have? I mean, you have so many things going on, your projects that are coming out that we'll have to have you back on to talk about,
Yeah.
everything else that you've done. What would be your dream project you haven't hit yet?
A dream project would definitely be like a Black girl James Bond type of project, something. Yeah, like I speak 6 languages, which is Chinese, Spanish, French. What else do I speak? Chinese, Spanish, French, Russian, Latvian, English. Привет, So I would love to play a spy or some type of undercover like hero of a story. And I don't have to have the hero glory of the costume, but I think it would be amazing to see a Black woman, multilingual, to do something that hasn't been done, and to sorry, we have some bananas, some old bananas, so you have like the little nets that be running around.
Okay.
Yeah, but to do a project like that, I definitely want to lead an action movie, and then then I would love to lead a TV series that goes 5, 6, 7 seasons. So those are the major 2 goals in the next couple years.
I like it. I like it. And 6 languages, like they used to make drop up. That's impressive. How did you learn all of them and be fluent in all of them? Because that's pretty amazing.
Thank you so much. And let me know if it's delayed on your side. I know that it delayed a little on my side, but I did hear your question. I would say so. Okay, I learned Spanish and English at the same time. I lived in Panama for a while when I was younger, and we had a nanny that spoke Spanish to us. And when people hear nanny, they think like, "Oh my God, were you rich?" But I still was really poor. But we haven't had a nanny because it was a thing that my dad was in the military at the time before my mom and dad separated, and then at 5 we fled back to America. That's a whole life story that I have to talk about in the future. But
Yes.
I learned Spanish and English at the same time, and then I learned French next in school. And then I ended up learning Mandarin Chinese from when I went to college. I went and studied in China for a little over a year. Then I've been back and forth to China 5, maybe 6 times. And then I learned Russian and Latvian from an ex that I was with for 6 years. That was Latvian, and he always spoke Latvian Russian, and I was like, I'm not about to get kidnapped or not knowing what he's saying. And I just put it upon myself to really learn the language. And I mean, I know probably like 15 other words and probably like 10 other languages as well, but those are the ones I'm more conversational in.
Nice. So maybe that's what your show could be about. It could be based on your life story, because your life story is so impressive. I think you should do that.
Thank you. It's very possible. You know what? If I don't do a life story on it in a movie, I would definitely do it in a podcast or audiobook or something like that, because that's definitely my future. I want to write a book, be on Audible with that book and all of that.
Well, I'll be first in line to buy the book. And where can we follow you on social media so we can continue to follow this incredible life of yours?
Thank you. At Carrie Bernans, my name, CarrieBerNans.
Beautiful. Well, it was a pleasure to speak to you. Good luck and congratulations.
Thank you. My pleasure. So nice to meet you as well, and have a
Likewise. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.